All right. We'll get going. Um, Thank you everyone for joining us. This is a webinar from TestFit about some of our new web features that we're rolling out. Like I said, it will be recorded and sent out via email if you registered. So if you need to leave at some point, you can always come back to it. But I would just stick around. We have a lot of good stuff. We'll have a Q&A at the end, as well as the Q&A in the Q&A section of Zoom. That is separate of the chat section, so feel free to put whatever you want in the chat, say where you're coming from, put something silly in there, do whatever you want there. So anyway, let's get going and show you some really cool stuff that we built. So real quick, my name is Nat MacDonald. I've been at TestFit for a little over 4.5 years now. I lead our product team and talk to a lot of customers like you all to basically find what we need to build. We're really a customer-driven or feedback-driven company. So when you guys say, hey, this is really valuable, we need this, we like to build it for you. So this is one of those things that Laura Schwartz has been working on quite a bit. So Laura, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Laura. I'm a customer success manager here at TestFit. I manage the onboarding process for new customers and help with the support questions that come in along with the feedback. I'm definitely getting that to the product team. And I've worked with a team including Patrick Reagan and Carl Hinkle, who have been instrumental in making what we're going to discuss today happen in reality.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, Laura does a lot of things at TestFit, and she's been working really hard on this. So it'll be fun to, and she is the resident expert in it. So I'm excited for her to show it off. The big problem in AEC is often collaboration between different teams, different people. When an architect designs something and then sends it to the real estate developer, it's often sent via PDF. Like email, whatever. It's slow. It's difficult to keep in line with different versions of things. And it's just kind of a mess. So what we wanted to do was solve this problem in some way with TestFit. And what we decided to do was look at how we share our outputs from TestFit and allow people to share them with their team members. So we did this so that everyone can be on the same page. People can make changes and pivot very fast without having to redo their drawings or redo those Excel tables or redo that feasibility report. Ultimately, so that you miss out on less deals. You're able to complete them faster. You're more confident on each one that Excel, that Excel sheet, if in the old system, that Excel sheet may not have been fixed, or someone hard coded something and you're not confident in the outputs. Now everything's together and run through the same thing. So I want to give you a little bit of an idea of kind of our workflow. So we have our traditional desktop app, which has generative design. I'm imagining if you're on this call right now, you've probably used that desktop app. That's on the left side of the screen here. Everything to the right is basically what's in the web right now. We've spent a lot of work to add things to the web because the web is a great spot to collaborate, store information, share information. And so that's kind of what we've built out. So we have the web editor, which we'll talk about today. We have quantity takeoffs, which we've talked about before. I think we had a webinar on that and the cost model if you want to go check it out or go look at our knowledge base articles. And then our reports. So today we'll look at web editor and reports and kind of how we can utilize that functionality. On the bottom, you can also see how you can share a deal. And if you share deals with certain, if you don't want to have the deal be editable, you can share it to people and they can just view it. So the nice thing about all this web stuff is you don't have to install the desktop app to have it. You can you don't even have to know that the desktop app exists in order to make these edits or view these reports. So with that, Laura Schwartz, do you want to take us away?
Happy to. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
And while Laura does that, I'm going to try and keep up in the chat and the Q&A for any questions that you have. And Laura, I'll send any good ones to you to answer live if they pop up.
Beautiful. All right. I'm sharing my TestFit screen now. I am logged into the online account. So I've got a deal loaded, and I'm going to launch the web editor first, which clicking on this icon here. And I'm quickly in the web editor. And so you can see this environment looks very similar to launching the desktop app, where we've got the familiar nav tree over here with the canvas window, and you can toggle to different views. Obviously, we've got the context turned on here. So we're not just reviewing the 2D and 3D views like we have in our overview view. We can actually make edits. So if I come down to the 2D view, so I've got a plan view here, and I navigate up to say the third floor, I can add a space. So I've got this one condition space. I can come over to the layer in the nav tree and just same process as in the desktop app, just add a space. Then I've got this condition space here. I can change the color, make it unique, and certainly make certain adjustments maybe in the size. So just kind of demonstrating here that you can start to use the web editor to make edits to your deals. Now, once you're ready to start to get into the report functionality, you can navigate back to the overview session here and then launch reports. And so I've got reports kind of pulled up here. And this is what we just launched, so it is live. You notice here as well that Nat mentioned the scheme comparison, financial, the quantity takeoff and cost model. So those are also available here to navigate within that process of adjusting the quantity takeoff and cost assumptions to those. But now we're just focused on the reporting. So TestFit automatically generates a report, which then you can edit. The first release that is live is the ability to assign markups and also curate kind of the views that exist within that report. So taking the idea of TestFit, generate, then edit, we automatically have a report ready for you that you can share down here or download PDF. I'll just kind of show how you can start to edit the report. So you can adjust the views here. And so you can certainly adjust if you want 3D to head your plan sheets. We've got the overview sheet here, and then you can navigate between your different sites and different schemes. So each of those and the combination of those has its own report. If I come over here to this sheet, I've got a default view that appears on the sheet. I can adjust the size, and then we have automatically these stat cards that report the deal outputs on the sheet. And so you can add all of them together, or you can add those independently. You have the ability to remove. So I can just simply delete. And then you have also the alignment tools available to your disposal. What you'll notice as well is that we have this orange perimeter here, which indicates that we've got an active view. So I'm actively in that markup mode. So I can add a comment here and say, maybe we need leasing offices to be on the ground level. And so I'll grab this markup tool, let me change the color here, and then start to mark that up. And so you can go through your sheets and then ultimately land at a report that you want to then share or download. So I'll go ahead and just share this deal. And I'll put this in the chat actually.
And while you do that, Laura, all of this is updating in real time if this model were to change, right? Whether it's in the desktop or the web editor?
Correct. Yep. So it's live. It's linked back to the web editor or to your desktop app if you want to save it. So which saves in increments. So if we wanted to launch the changes, it would be reported immediately. And so this is live data with not just the images, but also the outputs that are reported here with the deal stat cards. All right, so then when you're ready to kind of close out of that option here, you can then lock the view so we are no longer in that markup or formatting mode. And then we can also download the PDF here. And so the download PDF, we've gotten lots of feedback from our customers about wanting to customize the PDFs. And so we can now add images and those markups here. Now, we also have new features that we are getting really excited to launch. Do we want to get into that, Matt? As far as
Yeah. So we just want to caveat this with so the stuff you've seen so far is built, it's shipped. You can go use that right now if you have a test fit license. If someone else has a test fit license and you want to see what it looks like, they could share it with you, just like Laura sent that deal or that report in the chat. So that's what we have built and shipped right now. Now the next stuff that Laura is going to go over is still in development right now. It's still in progress. So in the next few weeks, I won't give a hard timeline, but in the next few weeks, that'll be released. And there's a lot of cool stuff. So Laura, go ahead and share this stuff.
excellent. So in the next version, which is really exciting, is you'll notice that we are just further curating the experience as far as your ability to customize your report and that experience. So we are adding sheet sizes. And so in the settings tab up here, you'll notice that in the current release, we have the ability to have the report in a A4, letter and tabloid and landscape. But now we've improved that experience to have different orientations, so portrait and landscape. And then I'm just going to kind of give you a brief preview of all the sheet sizes that will be at your disposal. So really, it's up to you to determine what makes sense for your report, but you will have those options. And then we've got that preview of that area, which houses the content for that sheet. And so what will be exported or shared is the information within that sheet that you're curating and kind of adjusting within the formatting capabilities. You can see hiding the title or page numbers. And then in addition to that, if I expand this panel here, we have the ability to now have access to more formatting tools, which includes the ability to add images or media directly. And think about logos here. If you want to start to customize those sheets and add your company logo, you can certainly do that down here. Right now, the functionality also works with drag and drop. And so if I wanted just to drag an image onto the sheet and drop it, now I can add an image to that sheet. In this case, it's a GIF, and GIFs can be added and shared via that link as well. In addition to that, so adding the formatting capabilities, we will have, I'm going to go ahead and just remove that one. We will have the ability to have templates. So think about, you've spent the time to kind of customize the formatting here. Now you will, in the future, you will be able to create your own templates and then apply those to the report or to individual sheets. And then further, what we've heard from our customers is the desire to have deal-specific annotation. So think dimensions, Project North, True North, and then scaling capabilities. So all that's on our roadmap. We're actively working on that, but more to come as far as the ability to customize and apply those deal-specific annotations.
Yeah, and speaking about our roadmap on this, so Laura, you gave a great overview of kind of like what's coming up next. If you, I would love everyone that's attending this webinar to go and try this out and tell us what you want. Again, we're building this as we speak. So if you have certain ideas that you think, hey, this would be really valuable for me and my workflow, let us know. My email is nat@testfit.io. Laura, yours is something similar. And yeah, so please reach out to us, let us know, give us your feedback, because there's a very good chance we can implement it. Okay, I see some things in the chat. Let me see. Someone asked for some images from today. Sure, you can feel free to email us. We can get those to you. Some other questions. Does the report builder pull in all the deal metrics automatically, or do I have to enter them manually? Yeah, so all of this is pulled. So actually, Laura, do you want to describe what's pulled in?
Yep, for the metrics, absolutely. So in the deal file, you've got the metrics, and this is, let me just zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in one more time. All right. So we've got the, zoom out, right? Within the model, we have, for instance, some retail that's placed here. And so we're pulling all of that gross and net area. For retail, we've got it set at a 1-to-1 ratio. And then a load factor. All of those metrics are coming from the actual deal file. So if I come back here and I actually go into this edit view, and let me go down to the first level here. So it's reporting based upon the outputs from the file. And then as I make edits, it will translate back to these deal metrics here. And then you have the ability to then, within the edit mode, so kind of go over here, the ability to assign those deal statistics cards either holistically. So all of those that are populating because they're within your deal file, or you can apply those independently. So if I want to add a metric, I can just place that here on a sheet if it doesn't exist. So it's live data outputs that populate those metric files, and then you can push those to your sheet views.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. All right, another question is there any way to add a cost summary to the report? So you can, I should say generically, you can copy and paste anything in here, like usually text or images. So if you have like a separate thing from that, you can certainly do that. We are going to be implementing our cost modeling and QTO data in here. We haven't gotten to that yet. We apologize. But yeah, so that stuff will be coming in at some point. Yeah. All right, a few other questions. How secure are these reports when sharing outside the team? So all these reports are saved within your cloud instance in TestFit. We don't have access to it. No one else does. So when you share them, what you're doing is you're sharing them to either within your company or externally. And if it's external with no login, I believe it's view only. And if you want to give people permission to edit it internally in your company, you can do that. So yeah, and I think Laura is showing that right now. And all of this is saved on AWS. It's secure. You don't have to worry about it being in a server of someone's basement.
And I might just piggyback on that. The share link is live based upon when you share it. If you disabled the link, then you disable that link, and each time you renew it, it is a unique link. So you can control who has access that way.
Yeah. Someone asked, do you have an integration with Procore and or Autodesk Construction Cloud? So we do not have a direct integration with Procore. If you have any thoughts on that, we would love to hear them. And Autodesk, we have an output to Revit that we allow that, but we don't have a direct connection to their cloud instances. Okay. Someone asked a specific industrial thing about railroad tracks. We don't necessarily have them, but we don't have them as a data map, but we can show them in ways with massing if you wanted to do that. And I think that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us. Again, if you have any feedback, my email is nat@testfit.io. We have a bunch of resources for this. So we have the release notes, some knowledge base articles for this, as well as a bunch of other stuff like the cost modeling, QTO. Really, I would suggest anyone that is currently using the TestFit desktop app to go give some of these web things a try. All of them, they all have different uses for different people, and they're quite valuable when you use them. So we're excited about that. And if you have any questions, reach out. And thanks again, and hope you have a good day.
Thank you.